Hello everyone, welcome. Today's match will be featuring Coinflip versus Scorch. And everyone's ready to give their all. Have a great time watching this game. I'll be your caster for the night. Our Pie Spies. There, which I get to say it now. So we seem to be getting teams together. We're going into the draft soon. Okay, hoping that's the spectate. Yep. There we go. Okay. Sorry for that delay. First ban's going to Tarek, Leona, Billion. Tarek ban is interesting. Unfortunate to take something so fabulous out. And Skarner ban on Scorch's end. A lot of tankies going out. The Zillion ban is understandable because he's busted. Just underutilized. And the Aatrox, followed by Shen. Interesting. Wonder if any of those are targeted bans, which I cannot say. No or not. Vincent first pick to blue side. Hasn't been nerfed yet. Pick rate over 30% last I checked. So pretty safe first pick in that regards. Well, over 30% pick rate with like, what was it, like a 53% win rate, which is pretty darn high for such a high pick rate. Yeah, followed up by Lux and Sejuani. Who's Coinflip's next pick gonna be here? Okay, Ezreal. Weak siding could be suspect here. Easy confidence into a Lux with that pick. But we'll see if Scorch can give them some punishment for that route. Xin Zhao being the final pick for Coinflip's Phase 1. Makes me think there may be a bit of focus in the mid lane this match. Because I don't know, it feels like Victor and Xin Zhao have a pretty decent setup to work together. Also, he's kind of zoning in itself. While he doesn't have the absurdity of Gwen W within his ultimate, he still at least elicits a pretty decent presence about him while it's up. So long as he's not behind. And Scorch's final pick going on to Caitlyn, who has been comfortably strong for the past I was gonna say several patches, but it's been a lot longer than that. Alright, last band's coming in to Malphite, so we could probably expect some more AD picks. Scorch's End afterwards. Followed by Cassante on Coinflip. Nautilus Hover. Interesting to see, considering Tarek is banned and Rel is in the glue factory, as Captain Flowers once stated. And Pantheon ban for Coinflip's final. Why is his portrait facing the other way? Is that really how his splash is? I don't know why, but to me he's always facing the right. Okay, final picks. Ahri is a safe one. Or just a hover, and the lock-in mid lane matchups are a go. Bot lane Lux Caitlyn. Are we going to be seeing lane swaps throughout this match? Or do they think they're going to have enough pressure on the Ezreal to prohibit Coinflip support from moving around the map? Ahri's asking for skin selections. Alright, what Ahri skin do you guys want to see? I'll put it in the in-game chat to weigh in on his option. I stated Dynasty. So. Alright, Coinflip's final picks going to Lulu and Camille with Scorch. Hovering set initially, but then opting to Ornn. Alright. Guess Tem is going Dynasty then. Oh, Mbessa hover. What's it looking? And the confirmation. Not quite sure how Mbessa's ultimate, whatchamacallit, functions with Camille ultimate. Will be funny to see if any shenanigans happen to pop up. But the final pick has been had. And match 1 between Coinflip and Scorch will be a go once, you know, the actual draft has been finished, plus roughly 3 minutes of wait time. Alright, team analysis. Scorch has Sejuani plus 1 melee. Okay, so Scorch has Sejuani plus 1 melee, so the, as always, the, efficacy of her W is going to be a bit constrained as a result. Was there a W or E? I forget. You all know which one it is. I haven't played her in like 4 years, so. The stun with slight displacement, you know. Then, okay, so yeah, that possibly implies there may be a bit heavy presence around the top side of the map, because Mbessa is pretty darn good brawling. Sejuani should be able to be a bit of an interrupting nuisance towards Camille and her escape potential, I feel. While possessing enough innate early game damage herself that Camille may struggle, but I am unaware of how the Camille into Mbessa matchup generally shapes up to be. In terms of Xin Zhao into Mbessa, he kind of needs to hit, so it's not the easiest thing for him to kite Mbessa, and as far as I'm aware, her dashes are not affected by slows, so he might actually have a bit of a tough time scoring up against her. So I feel like he might not actually want to spend as much time in the top lane. Meanwhile, the mid lane matchup, Vincent is very naturally strong, as he is. In current state, Ahri is always relatively strong. So it should be relatively even there. However, I feel there is a bit more setup potential for Coinflip's side. While the follow-up that Sejuani can assist into the Ahri is also quite formidable in itself. It's kind of a toss-up over which side has the advantage on that front, to be frank. And then in the bot lane, you have Ezreal with a Lulu, which I kind of find unfortunate with the two. Because it strikes me, not saying that I fully expect it to be this way, but it strikes me that Lulu is probably going to be sitting in lane for quite some time. However, they could also be aiming for a strong early push, because Lux is pretty darn squishy early on. Lulu's damage is incredibly strong early on. Going into a Caitlyn with that sort of damage output in the matchup may actually put the favor into Coinflip's side, especially that the damage output is notably more reliable than what Lux has to offer. Not quite so much as what Caitlyn has to offer, but even still, Lulu alone with help picks, I think, was the one that puts picks onto her ally. Onto Ezreal should net a considerable amount of output every trade. Not to mention slow, making it substantially easier for him to land his abilities. And, you know, Lulu's natural bullying strength, even though she gets outranged by Lux. All in all, I think that means to me that Coinflip may have a bit safer early and mid game. Scorch does have a bit of defenses themselves for the mid game. And, you know, their early game isn't bad either. Like, the early game will kind of be decided over which side is able to pull over victories without expending too much in general. And I feel whichever wins the early may take to commanding the mid game. However, the late game is very volatile. Mbessa, you all know what she's able to do. Just naturally shredding most of her opponents, even if they're exceptionally tanky. She is going up against a community, so we are going to see how that's going to end up, and whether Mbessa will be limited by anything or not. Or if she's going to be able to, you know, distance herself from Camille to prevent those Q2s from going off consistently. Or if it's just going to be basically an island across the match. We'll see. Unfortunately, Xin Zhao falls off pretty hard, so ideally for Coinflip, they won't want to go into the late game for this, but that would also require Ezreal to be getting a fair lead. We'll see if Vincent would be able to make up for what Xin Zhao will be lacking in the late game. Yeah. Unfortunately, to me, Lux pick just seems a bit weak in terms of reliability, but we are going in game now. I apologize for getting to swap during the full pick countdown, but it is what it is, and let's take it into the match. But Gonna be letting the directed cam take over early on, as always, before I get annoyed at it. And until I get annoyed at it. Looks like there will be defensive plays at the start. Ezreal brought Cleanse, as noted by Sejuani. Might mean that he's probably going to be playing a bit more passively in the lane. See about that, though. Kind of points that he finds Sejuani and Ahri to be threats. Lux probably not quite as much. See. Got some hardcore BM going on in the all chat.
Minions have spawned.
There's the Dynasty Ahri using the Chroma. There was vision planted on Coinflip's blue side. Okay, I do have the team sides correct. Okay, I panicked for a second. Alright, let's see how these early trades end up going. Bone plating procced. Both ends. Bit of trading going on. Going for the level 2. Manages to get the poke off before Victor's Vincent shield went. Oh, crap. Actually back up. I apologize. To entrance and charm. Alright, first level 2 went to Camille. E into a follow-up. Does land the stun, which fortunately leads Mbessa to not being able to get her level 2 in time. The minion being basically dead, which is quite unfortunate for her. Camille used Ignite for the kill, and wasn't able to crash the wave, just setting the ward safety vision. But Sejuani will be padding towards the bottom side, so Mbessa is going to have a bit of a rough start here. Ideally, Camille wants to crash it here, I would assume, and get her early lead well established. Vincent Ahri trading. Shield went untouched as Ahri fell below half. First potion used. No Doran shield on Ahri, so no point sitting low health too long. Unless she plans on recalling sometime soon. And I am missing these things. I am sorry. Need to look at the map faster. Okay, but here it is, right? The Ezreal and Lulu is able to put up substantial damage whenever, yeah, one flash into just deleting Lux for just standing there and nothing in front of her. And Ezreal and Lulu knew exactly what was up. And she didn't even have the time to react to protect herself. Like, Lux is insanely squishy, so you have to be careful in moments like that. But exceptionally good for Coinflip in this early game so far. Aiming for heavy dominance, already putting their... Ahri did not guarantee the crash. As a result, Xin is sitting there waiting to go in. Got the flash, 1Q. Gonna prime it onto Sejuani, but Vincent stepped up a bit too much. Slow field set out, but it will be ineffective, unfortunately. As Mbessa nearly dies to Camille, again. Dropping super low health. Camille teleport was used, so it's going to be relatively neutral. Whew, that is big. The greedy recall getting interrupted by Xin. Unfortunately, won't have another opportunity to do that. As Ahri comes in, will be a bit late. Let's see these XP differences. They're relatively even, so actually, Ahri came out positive in this. Actually, I guess she's lost some minions, which is unfortunate for her, I guess. But, I think the more unfortunate things are what's happening to her team across the map. Nice avoidance of Camille's E recast, as well as the distance kept afterwards so as not to get hit by the recast of Camille's Q. There's a lot of violence. They see him trying to steal something, gets one of the small raptors. That might have given an indication to Coinflip that they may have vision on the raptors there. Zhao working his way towards the grub as it's spawning. Will get spotted doing the void grubs by Sejuani, putting himself into a very bad spot. But I guess she's just walking away, as she is in the enemy territory at this point. Xin Zhao deciding to just go look. Azir does... I knew that would happen one day. That was so soon, though. Okay. Caitlyn stepped out of position, gets nailed by the slow. Her E is on a very long cooldown. Gets hit by the ignite, and the final Q from Pix upon her while ignited. The deadly output provided by Lulu there, and I'm still missing these things, I'm sorry. Lux is going to be forced to back here. After everything that's happened down here, you do not want to push your luck against these two. You know they will take those chances. Lulu takes a very small amount of hope from the Lux, as she is now out of mana and has no more value inside of the lane. Alright, second Void Grub goes down. Still some trading here and there between the Mbessa and Camille. Camille hasn't taken it back in a while, sitting on quite a bit of gold. Xin Zhao's waiting there. Camille taking a very aggressive stance. Will miss with the E. Lockdown incoming. Xin Zhao coming up for the knock-up briefly, forcing the flash out. Sejuani taking a lot of hit there. Right there. From the Ezreal. All comes out, hits no one. Ahri is coming in from the rear. May have overextended a bit here. Secure of the kill going to the Caitlyn, as Ahri will be running down Lux. Bone plating gone. Landed by the charm. Final slow into the kill. May have bit off more than they can chew. They had quite a lead on them. Did not yet go back at that point. However, I don't... no. They did get their first back. There's the tier. But... unfortunately, they did give their opponents roughly 600 gold, so unfortunate. As Vincent will hold yet another wave here, costing Ahri lots of minions, but what can she do? She's out of mana, as she didn't have her spellbook yet, I don't believe. Zhao rounding up towards the top lane yet again. No vision to spot him. However, Camille also doesn't have mana nor ult, so he's just here to help her shove in the lane so that she can get a healthy recall. Alright. Ensuring that it crashes. Good on you. May lose a plate from that, but a recall may be better than just that plate, you know? And Xin Zhao can't step up to try and secure it himself, because then he would just be giving free damage and dying. A lot of plates going to this Ezreal and Lulu down below. Ahri rounding up the rear. Is she going to be careful? Okay. Staying outside of that vision. was spotted out, I believe. I don't think the Spire Bloom showing in the on our end, which is odd. Alright, first dragon starting to be taken down. Looks like it might go uncontested so far. Ezreal getting the visual confirmation. Oh! Nearly gives a bit of hurt to Mbessa on her return to the lane. But yep, first Drake will be going down, giving a bit of sustain aid to Scorch. Lot of vision. 4 games going on. Alright, Dragon was taken out. Vincent is playing at his tower at the moment, keeping himself safe. Sejuani going kind of evasive here. You do see the play coming from the rear, but do you want to play that safe? Yep. Ahri was following her, so Vincent's free to, you know, do stuff mid. We'll get the crash here for a very safe reset. Unless Sejuani wants to come in and interrupt the recall. I don't know about you, but I would be mega tempted to ult that. Just for the heck of it. Alright. A lot of plates going towards the Camille, and Bessa TP in. Lulu taking quite a bit of hurt. It seemed like much of Caitlyn's damage went in before the bone plating came up, which is always interesting to me, the way that bone plating works. I feel like they could make it more consistent, but kind of choose not to. But I don't know why. Alright, Void Grubs look like they will be going down. Looks like the steal, nope, was not stolen by the Xin Zhao. Does seem like he may get the 4th grub. Does flash to get the slow onto the Mbessa as he turns to the grub, waiting for his smite to come back up, while moving into position to provide Vincent some support as Sejuani blast cones away. That will be 4 grubs in the pocket for Coinflip. Ezreal going back, getting his Trinity Force, and that bot lane is going to get a lot more deadly here. I just noticed Lulu got both of the kills for the bot lane. Alright, let's take a look at the bounties. 250 gold bounty on Camille despite a over 2,000 gold lead above the Mbessa. That's honestly pretty crazy. Ahri has a 100 gold lead with a 800 and 100 bounty with an 800 gold lead. Xin Zhao and Sejuani are relatively even. Ezreal and Caitlyn are relatively even. And the Lulu has about a 600 gold lead over her lane opponent. These bounties don't quite match up. Kinda want a screen cap. Alright, tower planing going to Vincent. The recall looks like his item may be ready. Yep. Incoming teleport immediately. And they are now relatively on par with items. You got Sword Boots on Ahri, but Malignance doesn't really offer too much damage. It's for her, it's good. Alright, we got a 3v2 heading on up top, and Vincent does not have access to TP. Sejuani ult comes out, but she is locked out by the Camille, and that damage was massive. Already going down, however, Xin Zhao below half health at this point, trying to get out. Oh, that was Camille, my bad. Barely survives, nearly gets hit by the return on Ahri's Q. Ezreal sitting at 300 health. Almost kills the Lux as she flashes out. Does get ulted by the Lulu for survival. as recalls may be taken. Lulu applying pressure, does get the kill on the Lux as well as the soul on the Caitlyn. Ezreal misses his W, but does hit the tower. Kill secured onto the Caitlyn due to the immense pressure provided by the two. Do they see the TP? Ahri coming in. Doesn't have ultimate available to her, but it does seem like she will land the kill on the Lulu, who is trying to put minions between them, but it won't matter from the Q. I believe that Ahri is maxing Q first. Yes, she is. As Vincent will be taking second tower. Oh no, third tower. Here in a bit. Alright, Sejuani not looking to be in a great spot, as Camille actually taking down Ahri down below. Nearly dead, he's going. Nope, nope. Unfortunate. Well, Coinflip. Not really taking coin flips this game, just a lot of meditated and aggravated destruction. You know, even though the Ezreal and Lulu died early on, that was still some good levels of aggression there. Clip Shield not gonna really be doing enough trying to escape, but does get locked down for the solo kill towards the Camille. Bessa's not in a hot spot, and this is kind of telling me what the results of the Camille and Bessa matchup looks like in the long run. But I guess having a 4,000 gold lead also kind of does that. So it is what it is. Camille, a fourth of Sejuani's health being deleted by that recast, which only makes sense because of the items Camille has active to her. Looks like Ravenous Hydra will be coming up shortly. At least I believe that's Ravenous Hydra. Titanic doesn't have Caulfield. Okay. I was trying to find it. Vincent and Ahri fighting down bot. One more ult charge for the Ahri, waiting for her cooldowns. However, Vincent does not have his ultimate active to him. Death laser used, so that is her opportunity to go in. Flash comes out from the Vincent. Her charm is on a cooldown for a bit longer, but the move speed provided by her Foxfires will help her get away as Sejuani's coming down up the side. Ultimate is available, and Vincent will be taken down for 308 gold. That 8 gold bounty, pretty big. Alright, Rift-Tailed going down to Coinflip. Match is looking to be in a pretty rough state. However, on the bright side, some of the gold in the skew is on Lulu instead of on Ezreal. But on the downside, Ezreal is still pretty darn strong, and Lulu is also strong. Strong enough to 1v1 a lot of champions in the game. So having items on her isn't exactly a detriment, you see. Camille trying to play aggressively into this Ahri here. Scares her away. Force the ultimate, actually. So that's a pretty big win right there. For not really much effort. TP Ignite. No flash needed. You can do silly things on Camille Flash, but I guess using Ignite kind of prevents you from taking those thoughts to play a bit more consistently. Alright, looks like there's going to be a play for Vincent up top with Sejuani and Ahri rounding up. He doesn't have any wards. Had no idea what was coming upon him. There's the ult from Caitlyn knocking his health down somewhat. A lot of damage going out towards the Ahri. Will get out with her life, as well as the heal on top will provide a bit of padding. We'll see what's going on here before I do a bit replay towards the bot. However, I can only assume that the Camille ulted and Xin followed up. And she had no means of escaping. Okay, let's see how it went. Alright. Here it is. Speeding up a bit. That's when it happened. Okay. A dive. Got the recast. Massive shield, but that shield is on cooldown at this point. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5. There it is. misses the stun, but ult comes out, got the Q recast to get obliterated. Alright. Even it up a bit. However, Xin Zhao and Camille are just taking the base with no one actually moving around to stop them. Sejuani's sitting there, but she knows if she gets close to them, she's dead meat as well. And this early game is looking, or mid game, is looking heavily skewed into Coinflip's avenue. Baron will be coming up soon. Wouldn't be surprised if they would take a reset and get in position to take this. They do have the teleports to play around as needed. Victor is in his position. Camille's probably going to be rounding towards mid and then angling towards bot, considering the wave states. Might even take jungle. No, straight teleport. But I do want to expect a hard Baron play incoming here. Camille on the bot is going to be forcing someone over to match her here shortly. Ahri and Sejuani once again trying to move for a position to pressure the Vincent. As pings are going out to go for the Dragon actually, rather than trading Dragon for the Baron. Camille is actually heading in the base. Will she be killing the Mbessa? Teleport comes in from the Ahri. As Ahri will be taking a bit of hurt from Vincent herself as she moves out. Mbessa will go back. And this looks like it will be an ensured Dragon for Coinflip. Good teleport down bot lane, further ensuring that they will have the positioning around Dragon handled. Alright, Vincent, rotate, caught out by the Lux and Sejuani, takes a bit of hurt. E damage still not out yet, however, making heavy use of the slow from the Lux. Goes over the wall, gets his shield, ulted by the Lulu, will survive. Sejuani tries to get out, does. And this may turn into a Baron attempt as Camille is in Scorch's base with 2 on her. Should be able to get away with this. Especially with the Embers providing access to her escape. Lux ultimate is down. However, Sejuani does have Smite available to her. Does she beat out the Xin Zhao, however? Camille is going on to the Ahri, will land the kill. As Sejuani comes in, does not manage to steal the Baron. I shouldn't have swapped from the Baron there. I saw the kill coming, I wanted to be reliable, but I swapped away from it and almost missed it. Almost missed what could have been a steal. I apologize. Alright, this may be the final push of the match. Vincent's teleport is active, so he should be free to sideline if he so chose. However, he does have the top lane pushing in. He could just teleport that if needed to actually apply the pressure there. Xin Zhao is rounding up the rear, but Caitlyn traps come out outside of tower range. One of them is. See how effective they end up being. However, Baron and power minions does mean that it is going to take a bit of time to take them out. Unfortunately, on Coinflip's side, don't have that much beef to help give way to these tower plays quite so easily. However, Camille is providing the pressure towards the top to split the enemy from being able to 5-man the center. We'll see how Scorch decides to react to this. Do they think they can take on a 5v4? They see 2 now. Vincent is caught out, will be going down with Lulu being aggroed by the Mbessa, but she does not have the damage to do anything with only 1 finished item. Ezreal will be moving back. Unfortunate that he stepped away from his team at that time. Would have probably been better if Vincent went down there instead. deciding that he will just take this inhibitor alone. Sejuani coming down. A 1-2-1 formation, I see. Vincent up in 5 seconds to help with this shove. That is kind of unrelenting at this point. Camille sitting on a 700 gold bounty, finally. TP coming in to give support to the Ezreal, as Camille will be getting out and providing so much hurt onto the Mbessa, who cannot do anything in retaliation. Does not manage to land the stun onto the Ahri with her repel, unfortunately. But Sejuani health will get nuked by the true damage yet again, dropping 200 as she narrowly avoids Ezreal's ultimate. All 3 inhibitors are down. Will they be taking the reset at this point? Camille is going back, maybe just be teleporting back in with full health. We shall see. Ahri comes in, gets the charm onto Vincent, who will stiff out and narrowly avoid the Lux snare. There comes the teleport in from the Camille. Baron buff is gone at this point, but they want those Nexus towers. They want this game to be over. But deciding to walk out at this point. 1 flash, 2 flashes are down. Sejuani comes in. Ezreal does avoid the follow-up. Will get caught out by the Mbessa ultimate. Luxall comes in, won't amount to much as Mbessa dies to Vincent. Ezreal taking out Sejuani. Ahri going down not long after. Here comes the Camille chasing down the Caitlyn, who narrowly avoids the Ezreal ultimate, gets safely under a tower, but just how much safer is it going to be when the Camille comes in to shot the Lux? In comes the Guardian Angel as the Nexus of Scorch will go down to Coinflip for game 1. Incredible match, good pacing, 25-minute game, beautiful. Okay, so that match, Camille was pretty darn scary. The game took quite some time to actually give her a bounty that was representative of the lead that she had over her lane opponent, however, which was a bit iffy. Because her team also had, like, what, a 3,000 gold lead at that point, too? And having a 3,000 gold lead over your lane opponent and only have a 250 bounty on your head is kind of wild, you know? Man, that match was wild. I want to say that Camille was probably the stand-up in that match. The bot lane from Coinflip doing some heavy work there too. I feel like Scorch regretted the Caitlyn Lux bot lane. Oh, I'm sorry. Nightbot is very what's the word? Unrelenting. So please be careful. I'm sorry. The I'm sorry, Krino or Krinopsa. I don't know how to enunciate your name. Not Nightbot has a an unfair bias. I'm sorry. I actually asked to see if whomever has control of the Nightbot would be able to look into just how strict its moderating is. So hopefully in future it gets touched up on a bit so that oops, wrong thing there. It's so hard to tell which thing I need to go to. Okay. Alright, music can come back on. Hold on, let me start this from the previous one. That way it leads into the Dominion Champ Select music. Alright, but yeah. Fantastic match from Coinflip in that game one. Scorch tried to recoup stuff here and there, but it wasn't nearly enough to stop the snowball that the Camille was capable of. And again, I feel like Scorch probably heavily regretted the Caitlyn Lux bot lane, because as you saw, there's just not a lot of reliable pressure they can put upon an Ezreal, and the Lulu there to supplement the Ezreal was just insanity for the pressure they could provide. You don't believe Kate Lux was the issue? What do you think it was? Because there was, you know, solo 2v2 into the Kate Lux. The lane is unreliable unless you can get ahead and force them under tower and keep poking them underneath. The unreliability of the damage from the two kind of and the early game power that Ezreal has thanks to his passive gives pretty fair advantage towards Coinflip in my opinion. There wasn't much jungle intervention in those phases. We did see some mid lane play. Vincent did and what actually wasn't banned this time around, Taric, Zillion, Cassante yet again, with Lulu being nabbed by Scorch this time. Shen ban again, followed by Leona and Lux. Lulu Jinx bot lane this time around. Coinflip still getting the Ezreal. We'll see how it ends up this time. The other issue, though, that I personally find with the Caitlyn Lux bot lane is the unreliability of most of their kit. It's not just for the damage sense, but again, the snares, you know, Ezreal would have to step onto a trap. Like, sure, he gets hit by a 50 caliber net, he's gonna have a lot of hurt, but I'm fairly certain that he can outrange it with his W and Q at the very least. And his E kind of prevents him from being stopgap by the Caitlyn. If he were to get hit by Lux's Q, he'd just avoid it pretty darn easily. Lux does have movement speed open to her. Movement speed versus both Caitlyn and Lux is problematic to deal with. And again, Lux is insanely squishy. There were mispositions as well from the Lux not respecting the wave states. Unable to keep up against the pressure that Ezreal was applying to them. Like, in the end, it might not have been a champion issue. Like, it does amount to a, you know, a player, like, skill differences as well. As well as communication and being able to properly play the parallel laning. But when you get forced off of your minions so easily and you don't really have anything to retaliate it against when you're on even playing fields as your opponent, then not really all that much you can do. Alright, so second ban wave ended. Pantheon Aatrox, followed by Mbessa and Camille. They don't want to see Camille again, and I guess they don't want to see Coinflip take Mbessa into their hands. I have a feeling that Scorch might be afraid of those high-powered top laners after what happened. There's the Elise pick for Coinflip. Once again aiming for... Wait. Oh, that's a Skarner top then, I assume. Elise in the jungle. It could be Skarner support, theoretically. But I doubt you would see a Skarner into a Lulu. Would I see a Skarner into a Lulu? Or is that Elise support? Okay, Malphite, the final pick for Scorch this time around. I don't know what got censored right there. Alright. Looking at team compositions this time around. I need to see with absolute certainty who the jungler is going to be. This is gonna be fun. For whatever happens, seeing a Malphite pick into so much hybrid damage though is odd to me. The Amumu pick I think is solid, especially with Orianna there to supplement. Okay, Irelia into Malphite top. That is... I'm not sure if that's like Malphite guaranteed because of the sustain that Irelia has open to her. I guess it just depends on the trade pattern, really. Okay, there's normal draft music playing. I'll just leave that over. Okay, so yeah, it is Skarn in the jungle with Elise support. Okay. There you go. So I'm not sure how to think of the Elise pick. They're hovering Yumi. Are so I've played a ranked flex game in like a month ago where my AD carry picked Elise and said you're going to be solo bot after I locked, well, before I locked him. But they then basically spent all their time top and mid and never came bot for the remainder of the game. I suspect that might be what's going to be going on here. We'll we'll see how it ends up. If it does, then there may be heavy regret in the Malphite pick. I'm still not sure what the Malphite pick is supposed to be aimed at. I don't know how the matchup goes against Irelia, but she does, you know, have magic damage built in. But, you know, kind of needs her passive fully stacked in order to gain access to it, of course. Okay. Music stopped. I'll turn this back on. Man, I'm really not sure what to think about the team comps. Like, last game, Coinflip has proven themselves to be able to push for game end at a good timing. Like, it looked like the game was moving towards an end phase around 19 minutes, and they finally secured it around 25. So Elise being there doesn't seem like it's going to be a big drawback for them, especially since they do have a relatively solid mid and late game setup outside of the Elise provided. Not to mention that even in the late game, she does at least have a stun available to her. It doesn't have any knockdown effects, which is unfortunate for her. But I don't think they plan on needing to get to the point where it would be unnecessary. I mean, even at the very least, if she stuns a Moo mid-bandage toss, it does, you know, give way for whoever would have been the target of it get out, so. We'll see how things go. Coinflip has shown in Game 1 that they are a force to be reckoned with. Is Team Scorch going to be rallying afterwards to take it back? Maybe show us a 1-1 end of Game 3. We'll see in the next minute. And then however long the game is going to be. Okay. So other than looking at the top lane, the junglers, Skarner has lots of gank avenues, Jinx is immobile, if he comes in from the rear against her, not sure how Polymorph interacts with this W, to be honest. But, it might force Jinx to put her snap traps behind her. Leaving herself open on the front end. Timer up. Or up. Zoom is out. Cursor is hidden.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Early game mind games coming out yet again.
They come apart so easily. How do you put them back together again?
As a side note for anyone that doesn't know about the whole Vincent thing, because Victor was changed into something incredibly skinny, and he lost his presence and menacing demeanor, Victor Mains has demoted him to being Vincent. Okay, I think Malphite was happy with that trade. Established over 100 health advantage. Shields back up, so it's as if he didn't take anything at all for a bit. And why did the cursor come back? Ezreal becoming very aggressive early on yet again. Irelia taking a lot of hurt from the Malphite early on. Has Doran's Blade as well. Another grass proc for the Malphite. Okay, maybe I should have, always had the runes being displayed so people could see this stuff, because it's... Irelia taking a lot of hurt, nearly half health at this point. Having a Doran's Blade might hurt, might. Depends on how well she is going to be able to keep up her sustain. However, Skarner's coming in from the rear. Will something actually happen from this? Because Irelia does need to get some of these minions. She is at a 2-level deficit. Will be dying and losing her flash to Malphite. As Skarner will try and take him out, but that will not happen, as he has no more abilities left at his disposal after Malphite disengaged. At the very least, I believe the wave was held somewhat. It's still, pseudo crash, but it is what it is. Okay. Can't get lazy with the camera this time. Alright, Ezreal poke coming out. Bone plating, hard to be effective in the bot lane. At least during trade portions. Ooh, Malphite going really heavy on Irelia. Got Bramble Vest first item, so it's not going to be looking great for her. At least going for her first roam down here. We'll get spotted out by the Scuttle Crab, forced to back off. We saw that, Rusty. Bit of poke on the Irelia from Malphite. However, he is running low on mana at this point. Not sure if he's been working around his mana flow band. Bit longer. It's up. There it comes. Runs away because he got the free mana. Took like 2 hits from the tower. Boonstra playing very safe here. The wave is frozen, so they are going to be forced to step up. Flash is out, but he was out of range of the of the E. Kind of unnecessary, unfortunately, for her, but did what she had to, did what she felt she had. Oh, he's looking still. Pulled in. Snap traps come out. Dies instantly. Unfortunate. Both their wards were on cooldown, so stepping up was just a danger in itself. Situations like that are pretty bad, but kind of have to wait for your jungler to swing down to make sure that it's safe for you. It's very unfortunate, but that's what happens when you lose your visions early. Like, yeah, they unfortunately had to set both their wards in the bush, or decided to, I guess would probably be a more apt turn. Vincent sitting with no mana mid. Azumumu's just waiting for him to step up. First dragon will be going to Coinflip yet again this time around. Azumumu decides to go for the Void Grubs. Lulu hovering. Skarner polymorph. Okay, so Poly does just stop it as if it were a stun. Good to know. Flash from the Elise comes in, does force the flash out of Orianna. Ult comes out, Elise basically dead. There it goes. Skarner 2 kills going to Tem. Flash from the Lulu doesn't get anything with it. Irelia tried to rotate, but Malphite is on her at this point, just not letting her breathe. Single foot out of position and she dies. Really nice recouping from Scorch. Strong start this game, despite the unfortunate circumstances that happened down in the bot. But that's what happens with wave state and vision coinciding in a point that is bad for you. Irelia doing what she can, but unfortunately that Bramble Vest is costing her a lot of what would be healing her. Mumu's rounding up for a dive. Skarner coming in, not aware that a Mumu is there. Ult from Irelia coming out. Skarner coming in the rear, but Irelia will die. A Mumu ult and flashes out. He figured that Malphite probably needed help with that, but didn't in the long run. Skarner's level 4, so he can't really do anything to the Malphite himself. Honestly, not getting much value out of the Elise here either. Just sitting in the bush. Kind of want her to be running around the map to force stuff to happen, I would assume. Vincent taking some damage. Unfortunately, not quite as well off as it was in the previous game, with a notable deficit of CS and otherwise gold thanks to the double kill that Orianna had provided to her. Malphite with a 2-kill lead on top of the Irelia. I assume he's going for Sunfire first item. At the very least, Swoom is able to... Is that how you enunciate that? I'm not sure with accented letters. They're weird to me. Irelia coming for the roam down bot. Does get... What? Doesn't get the stun off. Vincent overextends, gets caught into the... not dissonant. Command shockwave into a second tower hit. Dies, unfortunately, as Malphite will be commandeering this top. So this is the one time that Irelia will get anything to breathe. Elise got hit by the bandage toss, but it seemingly got stopped by the repel. Will get ulted on, kill going to Jinx. Blue helping Amumu get out safely as Jinx does get nailed onto the wall by Skarner. Kill going to him as well. As the support Ezreal once again getting a bit of side gold into his pocket. Very strong support. Blue being forced to back off, it seems, as Skarner does have his ultimate still available to him. Irelia not wanting to go back to the top. Oof. Level 9 on Orianna. Let's see what that XP did. A full level. Dangerous state for Vincent. Skarner getting caught out. 3 on him. Will the bandage toss land here? Does, and he should be going down. Nope, flash over the wall. Bandage toss misses. Unfortunate. No more kills for Jinx yet. But next dragon is coming up in a bit. Irelia is trying to get what gold she can, trying to go for that Blade of the Rune King first item. I'm not sure about itemization on Irelia into matchups like this, but I'm unsure what she should be doing at this point. Like, if she gets Bork, then at the very least she can go for cross-map roams as she was doing earlier. But the downside is that what can it do into this? She gets hit by one series of attacks from the Malphite and loses basically a fourth of her health as he bides his time waiting for her to be in kill range. And as E runs back under her tower to the minion. Yeah, 2 hits there, chunking about 400 of her health. Doesn't have teleport available to her, so we'll likely be losing some more plates to the Malphite. Level 10 on Orianna. Still a full level lead. Ult coming out from the Jinx, not sure what it was going to. Ezreal with almost a full level lead over the Jinx. Or I guess more half a level. Comes the Elise. Flash and Lulu ultimate out. With both sums still up on Coinflip spot side. Movement for Void Grub starting up. Rusty probably trying to get something. Does get knocked into the Grub Pit. Does he want this? Alt flashes out. Ulted onto and kill going to Vincent with the command Shockwave. Unfortunately missing the targets. Orianna a bit open from the back, but Skarner wants to try and get Malphite off of him. And off of his ally. Malphite not a great spot. Irelia trying to go for those fruits. Vincent doing a lot of damage to Malphite thanks to his lack of magic resist. Fortunately, no extra kills going to be going towards Scorch. For Coinflip. Void Grubs are 3-3. Neither team had reached the point of 4. Orianna's still doing exceptionally well. Vincent ult coming out. Flashes the Jinx ult to be safe. Unsure if it will kill him or not. Irelia sitting in a bush, thinking she can do something against the Malphite.
Will soon fall.
Ooh. Dangerous spot. Amumu is here. Doesn't have ultimate available to him, though. I guess he's going to try and go for a bandage toss whenever she goes for Qs on the minions. We'll see. Yep, pressure on, and will be forced to back off. Teleport coming in from Vincent. Yep. Just to enable her to get her CS as he heads back to base. Those pressure teleports. Irelia's TP back up in a bit. We'll see what route she will be opting for in her itemization in the near future. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen all that much from Elise in this match. But Orianna and Malphite are going pretty darn strong. Elise caught out yet again. Will be another kill. This time to the Lulu. You know, times like these when you got a squishy spider, you might want to consider investing in a dark ring. Vincent. Orianna almost level 11. Level 2 ultimate's pretty huge here. Next dragon up in 1.5 minutes. Herald is up, and it looks like Rusty Crow will be going for it. Let's take a look at the gold advantages since, you know, haven't really done that all game. Alright, so mid laners, Orianna favor by a fair margin. Top laner, a lot closer than I thought it would be. Looks like Irelia's been able to eat here and there. Fortunately for Coinflip. Amumu and Skarner nearly completely even. As the AD carries, Ezreal is heavily ahead. There was a lot of zoning in the early phase. Tower should be going down here. And final hit. Second tower going to blue side. Skarner ult landed on the Orianna to secure the kill towards the Vincent. Irelia rotating to stop the top lane tower push. Does not have Bork yet still. See what she plans to do. Might be a bit dangerous if she decides to stay like this since the tower is nearly dead. Well, what happened here? Walked into an unwarded jungle when the enemy had presence. Shoved into the wall, ulted by Lulu, ults himself. That is a long ult cooldown. To no avail, unfortunately. Sometimes you just want to hold on to those. It appears that Amumu is actually building AP. Unsure about my thoughts on that. I guess it's for the Skarner and Irelia, but might need to be a tank yourself. Since your only other front line is Malphite, and he's good for pressure, but he's not great at long-term tanking. Jinx tries to get the steal. Did not land it at a good time, however. Orianna wanting to step up. Unsure of where her opponents are. Doesn't have any wards at her disposal. Flash stun from the Elise over the wall. Skarner comes in for the lockdown, and she goes down. Good value out of that flash from the Elise. No flash needed to be expended from the Skarner. Now, while Scorch did manage to get themselves a very strong early lead, Coinflip's been having some nice plays to mitigate the map-wide contribution that Scorch is going to be able to make with that lead, which is unfortunate for them. Now Coinflip up to a 2,000 gold lead. Bounties on 3 of them, with another bounty slapped onto Malphite, who is building magic resist now. Did not seemingly finish his Sunfire Cape, I assume because he saw how much damage Vincent was putting out on him. Skarner with Heart Steel may become an issue later on. Kind of already is somewhat of an issue, so. Elise going sneaky mode. I assume she's trying to provide safety to the Irelia rather than trying to go for an angle onto the Malphite. It's just challenging Orianna to step up, but it is a 2v1 down bot. I suspect something might happen here, but you know, he does know that Amumu's there at this point. We'll back off, as we do have a 4-man top play. Gets marked by Bloodletter. He's kind of being blocked from moving anywhere. Does seem like he will get out. Does have his ultimate forced. Mid lane is open at this point, however. Actually, no. Mid lane is covered by Vincent at this point, but their bot lane is open. I guess trading a top for a bot is fair. There's the recall from the Irelia, I guess, to counteract the Orianna down bot. Their items are actually relatively even, which is kind of surprising. Orianna did get the Dark Seal, but I guess Elise might start distancing herself from her now. Just no room to breathe from her. Teleport came in, couldn't get anything out of it. Unfortunate. Amumu tries to bandage toss in, just takes a bit of poke in exchange. As Bradino is pushing that bot lane. Malphite moving over to him. His ultimate is not quite yet up, but his teleport is. Unfortunately, his usefulness, apart from his team, it's nowhere near as powerful as it is when he is with its team. Like, the Wombo power on Scorch is strong, but this team fighting Coinflip has been pretty exceptional. Rusty Flash being forced, Malphite coming in, getting a lot of damage onto the Irelia, avoids the stun. But I don't think much is going to come from this, especially with the Skarner coming in to distance. Lands so slow, as everything is disengaged. Waiting for the dragon to come up. We'll see both sides playing around it. However, that top lane is pushed in. No teleports on blue side, however, to take advantage of it for the side lane pressure. Oriana doesn't have TP herself, which means that she might not actually be a participant in this dragon fight. It would be unfortunate. We still have 13 seconds till it's up. Let's see how the vision control is going to be going on as we move in. There is a ward inside the blue end jungle for Scorch, but it doesn't seem like it will be contested in the long run. That is the second Drake to Coinflip. Second Infernal Drake to Coinflip, with already a Mountain Drake at the helm. Ezreal ult to make sure that it's not a traded objective, as they will comfortably push in the middle. Probably take power over the map. Wards are gone. But eat in for that, but doesn't proc the W to finish off killing tower, go more aggressive. Will instead get double bandage tossed and ulted by the Amumu for the kill towards the Oriana yet again. However, everything is disengaged. Amumu caught out by Vincent's stun. Will go down into the shockwave. Jinx does get caught by the Skarner as Vincent is chasing down the Oriana, who does manage to get away, as Aurelia is not having a fun time into this Malphite, who has Thornmail and Jockshow. Kind of a scratch to him whenever she interacts. Bork doesn't really have anything on it. Okay. Coinflip just keeps winning those flips. Alright, Scorch. Come on. What have you got to show for us? Are you going to be able to pull yourself back into this? Because that is a lot of gold going further into the sway. Gold and gold value alike. Fortunately, despite the 4k gold lead, there is only a 6k gold bounty for you to be aiming towards. One of which is on a really tough to kill opponent. The other is on a relatively squishy opponent that hits like a truck. So take your pick. Your pick opportunities are a bit dangerous, being Malphite and Amumu. Your team fight potential is through the roof, but you need stuff to be able to be pulled off. Whether that stuff will be able to be pulled off depends on your positioning and vision control, heavily. But in order to get all of those to come together, you do need good map control, which the wave states are not helping, especially with Malphite not having the fastest wave clear. You do have both teleports up at the moment, however. Alright. Ult comes out from Irelia. Ezreal comes as well. Malphite forced to ult away. Amumu turning onto the Vincent. Does get the ult as well. Low health. Vincent goes down, but so does Amumu, Oriana, and Malphite. That is 2 left to defend your base. Massive Vincent ultimate sitting there, dissuading anyone from even considering walking to it, as this should be a guaranteed Baron going towards Coinflip. Jinx comes out with the Infinity Edge, however Ezreal sitting on 3 items on his own, with a 2-level lead at that, putting Coinflip at yet another insanely favorable position, but a bit later than it was last time. But I believe this should be the final push towards the finale of the game here in a bit. 3,000 gold lead on Ezreal, no bounty. Slight gold lead on Irelia, 100 gold bounty. Fair gold lead on Skarner with a 300 gold bounty, and Vincent somewhat close to the Oriana. At least 2,000 gold over Lulu with no bounty on herself. Malphite taking the recall after it's being shoved in because he feels he needs to defend. His ultimate is back up, so things could technically be had, but do you have the follow-up to make use of this? That has been the main thing of this entire fight. You need some control. You need an avenue. Have to find your opening. But there's just so much pressure being put onto them that it's really difficult for them to find those points. To find that window for Malphite or Amumu to take the stand, and then Orianna being safe enough to actually get the follow-up as she gets caught out by the Elise Cocoon and instantly evaporated by the Vincent. Amumu tries to escape, gets taken out by the Ezreal, soon to be followed by the Jinx. Lulu not long afterwards getting destroyed. Malphite comes in. Probably won't take all that much hurt from the Ezreal as he eases over the wall. Blast cones himself back over. Irelia comes in, doing a bit of scratches here and there. But Vincent coming in to provide his own backup. Malphite locked down, Ezreal flashes out, and the base will go down in entirety here, I believe. Orianna coming up. 3, 2, 1. Her opponents are stacked against. Ezreal will die to the tower. Will this be the end? Amumu ult comes out, catches 2. Vincent caught by the shockwave, not by the Super Mega Death Rocket, however, as the finale comes in. Infernal Soul was on Coinflip as the victory goes to them. 2-0 for Coinflip. Great matches. First match was a bit more of a snowball for Coinflip. Second one seemed a bit of a struggle early on, but they managed to recoup themselves. Unfortunately, Scorch wasn't able to make any plays with the advantages they were provided in that early state, which was unfortunate. Ezreal putting very strong fronts in both games. Irelia, unfortunately, didn't manage to do quite as well as they did on the Camille in game 1. I guess Malphite did his job in that front with those shutdowns, but unfortunately there wasn't anything to bring to mid or late game afterwards. Skarner making some very, very wonderful plays around the map. Have to hand it to him for that tie around. At least not as proactive as I would have liked to see them be, but their cocoons in the mid and late game did secure some very valuable plays. I want to say that game 1, I would probably give the MVP to Neil. Game 2, definitely to Aristotelian. Did I pronounce that correctly? I apologize. Game 1, Brandino. Game 2, Aristotelian. Yeah. Okay, but Swoom, if that's pronounced correctly, did fantastically both games as well. I'd say the first game better than the second, but not to say they did poorly in the second. Wave states were definitely held very good in game 2, heavily strangling Boonstra from having access and giving themselves substantially lead in the early on, putting a lot of pressure onto them, giving those avenues for Skarner to come in to make it feel very painful to be the Jinx throughout that match. Wonderful job. But that will bring this match to a close. Thank you everyone for stopping by to watch, and hope you all have fantastic. And I apologize that I didn't show the scoreboard the entire time I was talking about that. Charts, like charts. Champions. Tower damage. Tower. Ah, there it is. Yeah, Ezreal being a complete wrecking ball. Good to be one though. His E does stuff. Alright. That will be the end. Hope you all had a fair time. Apologize that if my casting was worse than usual, but it is what it is. You all have a great night. Have fun.